Hi everybody, welcome to C-Suit Elevate Your Move Scale Beyond. Today we are discussing on the topic of human in the loop leadership. Is empathy a AI edge? To have this discussed, we have Dharshani joining us. Hi Dharshani, welcome to our show.
Hi, thank you. I think it's always a privilege of coming back to this talk show, sharing my insights every time. Thank you.
Welcome Dharshani. Dharshani, without further ado, let's dive into the topic.
Sure.
Why does human in the loop leadership with empathy outperform tool only in AI rollouts? Dashni, you're able to hear
See,
me?
yeah, I can hear you. The thing is, you know, I'll just give you an example or an instance where, you know, a lot of people have come back, telling me that sometimes I use AI as my personal coach, or giving our feed to it to the AI to give us some kind of inputs or some kind of that human touch in which comes as a message. But many a times we don't get that. Even if it's a chatbot or your chat GPT, today you have various options in the available to us, but unfortunately you don't get that human touch when you talking to a AI generated chat window. Say for example, in many places you find this chatbots talking to you. If they are unable to answer, then they'll say it comes as a message stating I'll refer you to a human agent. But we cannot.
Okay.
Yes, maybe down the line in next few years, maybe this empathy touch or the human empathy touch would come in AI. But then again, we cannot expect that like how a human talks to us, sitting us on a direct face to face or on a Zoom call or in a different platform altogether. But yes, again, you might not, many a time since this AI has developed so much, we may not take the forefront. We let AI do its work. Even as simple as that, if you want to go give a public speech or a keynote, we just ask our AI to do everything. And how do we expect that human touch to come inside AI? Not possible. Maybe down the line it might.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is, see, everything cannot be done. And first pointer that we have to clarify that is AI is an enabler. I think it should not take over. It yeah, human in the
Yes.
loop is required. Okay, otherwise it is taking data that you feed in. It is not gone to a stage where intelligently it is not. It is taking decisions. We have not gone to that stage. Maybe what you rightly said is tomorrow there could be a chance saying that some of the decisions they can take where an approval mechanism is set up, right? So that way I think it can take over is what I think, Darshni. So uh,
Yes.
coming to your point, it metrics and targets are 20% faster when you do it with AI. So that's the major difference where a human cannot do that kind of a repetitive task where an AI can do. That's the only challenge that we see at the moment as AI coming into the picture. Otherwise AI should be and will be an enabler is what I strongly feel, Darshini. So let's not go into the stage where it takes up everything. And now as an engineer or an analyst using AI, what is it for me in specific? Because the prompts are different, the way you take things are different. So AI works differently for the way you ask the questions. So as an engineer or an analyst using AI daily, what should I take it for myself?
See, as you rightly, mentioned that the the way we give the prompt, maybe many a times we end up in this situation where we don't know what words exactly to use. Might be that You might give it a prompt, it will give you a different answer. Maybe that is what you're not expecting. So I think first step is to identify the keywords or the right prompts to ask an AI. Say even if you're an engineer or you take any field or any stream for that matter, I think asking or giving the right prompt is the key. But then, I'm into training field. If you ask me, what I do is, if I have to take a session somewhere, I write my script. I only use AI for polishing, redefining, and giving maybe better vocabulary to the script. But
Hmm.
necessarily, you may not get what you exactly want out of an AI machine, because it's very difficult to find where is the fault, because it's more of
Yeah.
trial and error. That method just continues there. See, I'm not discouraging anyone not to use AI. You can use AI, but given in the situation that you give it the right prompt, you can use it as an idea generator or something like that, so that at least you get a better picture as to what you want and how do you want to present your idea. If it's a startup, in that ways it might help, but completely depending on that, as in any field, let it be engineering, let it be analytics, or let it be any field for that matter, maybe we'll not get the input of what we are looking for.
I think the pointer that you are stressing is that it is more to look at mm, see what is the kind of input that you give and what is the output that
Exactly.
the LLM or the language module does. So that depends
Yes.
on predominantly the way we put the prompts. Now, if you ask it
Exactly.
to write a simple mail to send to as an announcement, so just it will give you a
True.
random message saying that the announcement is this is what it is. So now if you have
Ah,
to tell it,
true.
it will
True.
tweak it properly, then you will say this is what I want to send, this is the audience, this is the kind of people who are involved, so draft me a mail which can have these highlighters, this is my highlights, this is what I want to convey. I think that way it gives you a perfectly drafted message, which end of the day you will have to edit and put it according to your needs. Otherwise, it is not going to do
True.
any this one, because it does not know what is the audience that you are talking to. It just gives you
True.
a plain generic email if you are looking at that. Now, how do empathy interviews change PRDs so AI features solve the real user pain?
Great questions, but then again, you know, empathy wise, AI, it's not yet reached to that stage. It's not reached to that stage. Actually, at least as far as I'm concerned, I'm still in that phase where even if I have to sit and talk to someone, I still prefer to call up or sit with the person, even on a video call or something, to get that clarity in mind. Because, see, empathy is an emotion, and emotion and AI, it's not yet reached there. And when it comes to interviews, it can help you prepare.
Hmm.
Unfortunately or fortunately, it will not maybe give you that space of empathetic communication. No, that I don't think it has reached to that stage. Even today, I still being I yes, I have my brand. I do things, but still there are times where I attend interviews if possible to get into a full time. But still, you won't find that empathetic edge in your when you are using AI as a tool to get yourself prepared.
I
Maybe in the
think
future that it might reach to that stage, but then again, it is. I don't personally feel that way,
no, I think
because it's a
what you're
human.
saying,
I don't know
that
how many of you have seen this movie called Endiran by Rajinikanth. After some time, they destroy that whole robot which they invented out of. Sometimes it goes till that extent. So yes.
What you are saying is very right, because when we look at automation done to a stage, you have certain control over what you can, whatever you have quoted as the movie. We
True,
wanted everything to take a decision, and that
true,
decision taking capabilities were given to the automation, saying that if you find this, you can take this decision. If you find this can be a decision. So that is the kind of automation that was created. So that is where I think there was a issue that we find. Now, coming to our pointer, which roadmap item should we ship first when data says maybe, but you say must?
uh which pointer first? It's better to use our brains first and then go for AI. See, because today, it see, again, AI is still developing. It's still, getting better with trial and error. You call meta. There are a lot of different names which we use these days to do that testing of whether it's working at its best. But then it can polish, it can redefine it for you, but it may not give you that uh you know edge of how you want to convey a message to the other person. We have never seen that, that where AI is delivering something to someone.
Hmm.
Yes, there are a couple of restaurants where they come and serve food. That's a different ball game altogether. But we
That is
have never
automation,
seen.
right?
But
Yeah.
I would say again, it's not like someone serving say for example, someone serving food without of, love or something through a robot. Maybe down the lane it might come, it might not come. We never you we know we don't know. But again, you'll not get that human touch or that empathetic touch in whatever we do when it comes with AI. But again, first is we create, something using our minds and use AI to redefine it. Say, for example, now, Prem sir is asking me all these questions, very interesting questions, but again, it depends from individual to individual who gives these answers. But still, as an individual, as I am answering these questions, I would say I don't get that empathetic touch even till today when I'm using AI. I use it, but you don't get that human touch or feel when you are chatting with an AI or chatbot.
What I feel, Darshini, is the remote work is one good example, right? When you are having a remote work, you don't feel that connected. But if you are sitting on a same table, the discussion, the pointers, the way you discuss, all changes, because the dynamics are, you are connecting humanly there, rather than having. Now I am in a different frame of mindset when I am sitting here. You are in a different mindset sitting in another place. You are thinking so many other things, where so many other things are working here for us also. So I think when you talk AI also, you give a certain prompt and it only talks on that, and that ends there, and you don't have a next question or a next pointer that you can take and say, this is where I wanted to know, this conversation is going from here to here, so next step what is, what we'll do in a human to in an empathetic conversation. Now AI says, what is the location of, say, Rameshwaram cafe in this one, this is the location, end of story, so the pointer is given.
True,
Yeah.
true,
So
true,
then you
true.
will have to ask again, how much time does it take? So again, another
Ah,
question. It is going to be a blunt answer again, 20 minutes.
yes, yes,
So
yes.
I think that's where I think you should say what is maybe and must kind of a thing is. Maybe is I may not use it for a real time conversations like an interview where I'm talking
No.
to get the best views in terms of the speaker coming and telling. Maybe I want to write an article which says this is the research that has been done, these are the pointer, this is the link that is there, and we share that link. So that I think is what maybe is what I think that is where I think the pointer is coming. Now, priority prioritize with empathy is what we are talking about, is the pointer here. Now, coming to the
Right.
next point, how can customer empathy narratives turn AI pilots into revenue, not science project? Because it is becoming a science project. I did this, this is what is done, so this is done, so this is my project over. Now, how do we bring the customer empathy narratives turning AI pilots there to into revenue? Your take on it.
I think this is a new trend which is happening where I came across through these reels in Instagram. When you lose someone of your loved one, okay, and at particular place, a wedding is taking place, and today people are using AI and bringing that human into real life and make, conveying some message or something on a special occasions.
Hmm.
I think that is one trend which has started happening these days, where AI starts talking, or that where they bring that human in life and that person starts delivering a message. I'll give you a real time example where I experienced this. Is where uh, last year I had given my TEDx talk,
Hmm.
and it happened in Kanyakumari basically. So what happened is they had brought, using AI. I'm not. I don't remember the name exactly. Who was that personality? But then they brought that person into life, and as if it was that speech was almost for 3 minutes.
Hmm.
But I actually felt it was really that human coming and talking to you. Yes, it was AI generated, it was using all AI, but still somewhere, that kind of, situations, sometimes I have felt that human touch is coming in. Not exactly, not completely, I would say, but to some extent, you feel it as if it is real.
No,
Where a
that's what we are
that
talking about, right, Darshini? Where we are talking
yes,
is the connect. Now, example is if a speaker walks into the hall and he has a huge following, okay, then the way that the speaker talks itself, when he enters itself, there's a difference, right? That is
true,
a
true,
aura
true.
that he'll carry, saying that okay, this is the speaker who's come. This is where we are talking about. He is X. Now, but if I am looking at a recording, I may not look at him also, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right. Okay.
When you
Okay.
talk about customer experience, today there are a lot of, I had went for a hot in one of the five-star property. I'd gone for a stay. So
Hmm.
I was surprised to see, you know, it is very unusual for a regular guest to get that message, where when you open the room door, along with my name, there was a message on the TV screen, which usually with a normal guest, it doesn't happens.
Hmm.
But that day, it was just a normal message which was displayed along with my name on that TV screen. Even I felt it so special that during that time. Yes, there are these small tweaks which is happening today, which to give a better customer service. Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay. Great. Now, how do we raise the prompt engineering quality to using the user words, not ours? Because right? So
Yeah,
relevance, what we are talking about.
yeah. Again, you remind this question reminds me all of all the superheroes who comes in your mind. But then again, you have your, I don't know, Prem sir, have you watched this movie called Doctor Strange, the latest movie? I don't know. I don't think so. You must have watched.
No, no, no. My daughter is a fan of Doctor Strange, so I get
I'm
to
not a
hear from
fan,
her.
This is the example which instantly comes to my mind just to give a better perspective for this question for an as an answer. See, today you have your virtual reality, you have different ways to experience something, or your 7D movie, which you go for hardly 2 3 minutes, which gives a real time experience of, you know, if you want to experience a roller coaster ride, today that will give you that experience. But again, using that, creating that right prompt, and you know see, AI will give you different answers, as rightly it was mentioned in the previous, perspectives which was being shared here. Coming up with the right prompts, creating that right prompts is the key. Otherwise, what will happen is things will go on a faulty states. It will go. Many a times this happens that, you are sitting in a ride, and due to some technical issue, your ride stops in between. Not even a ride, a lift door. If the engineering has gone wrong, even if the script, even that AI, whatever that message or the programming which we give, even one thing goes wrong, your whole system gets crashed or it gets blocked completely. So that is there. And again, we'd have to be very careful when creating that message or that programming for that particular product. We'll have to be very careful because you'll not know where is the error. There are these best
Now coming to
examples. If you go back to, if anybody is a fan of watching, you know things like Doctor Strange, as I said earlier, or your any take up any superheroes for that matter. One thing goes faulty, the whole system is at risk. Not only that particular area where it is being blocked, but yes.
Now coming to the empathetic part again. How does empathetic training reduce social engineering risks without blame?
Okay, okay. See, today if you go back putting, you know, if you ask an AI bot as to what is empathy, it'll give you the general definition what you find in a dictionary, isn't it? A lot of times. See, again, every day your technology, or rather every second, every minute, the technologies are advancing. And sometimes we ourselves is not aware where is the technology or the AI is taking us. There are a lot of startups coming up to the forefront right now. There are a lot of things which is happening, but then again, I came across through this child on Instagram. He's just studying seventh or in his eighth grade. I'm not sure which class he's studying in. Just a small kid. He has come up with a water reduction, some water pump kind of a thing. He's just studying in his class 8 or 9, and he has come up with something. And his mom has posted a story on Instagram stating he has gotten that patent for that for that product which he has invented. So you can imagine to what extent your human mind can work, or to what extent your human mind can go, till what extent it can go till. Yes, engineering can go wrong or it can go right, but again, it's an AI generated. Not much will, certain times it will go on its right way, or it'll go on its wrong way. It's same as like you learning a programming language. One extra space, one extra comma, it'll keep showing error. But still, we'll start breaking our heads too much that what went wrong where. So I would say it is gonna take some time for to bring that empathy on an AI. I don't. It's still, I find it still impossible bringing that human touch.
Again, coming to the empathy part itself, how can empathy cut resistance from middle management to the usual stall points?
See, that great question. Okay. Empathy can cut resistance. I'll tell you how. You imagine going and talking to a child or to your subordinates, using that empathy with you, the task which they find it very difficult, you will find them doing within, maybe half an hour or 1 hour quicker than what the time was given to them. Because you are encouraging, plus you are giving them that kind of support, emotional or that mental support what your subordinates needs, so that they can get the work done without feeling that pressure or that resistance. Okay, what if I do something wrong, or what if something goes wrong and I'm fired off the workplace. So yes, empathy can break that resistance there by giving them the, you know that support or that motivation or that, you know emotional support which they need. In spite of the pressure, they can still work. Many a times this works with me. Sometimes I use that empathy segment to get my work done many a times. But yes, again, it will it see it differs from person to person. Not many a times, in not many organizations this happens, but in many places it has started happening these days, where they start using empathy to get their work done. If you get like, if you are working in such an organization, I think it's a bonus for you, I would say.
I think what you are saying, the pointer that you are saying is you need people who care for people, is what you are saying in as many as words that you are saying. Yeah,
See, but
right.
again, in professional setting, you don't find this segment. But yeah, in professional setting, it's very rare to find. But again, it's a choice and it's a mindset which a organization or an it has to develop from an individual's mind. But it can work wonders.
How do HITL evaluation loops reduce hallucination without killing velocity?
Okay. Okay. I've been talking for quite long time. Is there any audience here? Prem sir, has anyone
Yeah,
joined in?
live I see few people. Any questions, guys?
Not questions. I would like to know what is your perspective to this.
Okay, we'll
See,
wait for a minute and see if anybody
again,
wants to come up.
see the topic which we have chosen for today for discussion is, again, it's just, maybe it's according to my perspective, it's according to my opinion, or it will be according to what Prem sir is feeling. Necessarily, you know, see, again, there are a couple of factors here which we have to take into consideration is the city or the location which we are living in, or which where we reside. Lot of factors plays a major role in breaking something or in making up something. If you take up, say for example, if you take up in a place like Kerala, or even if it's in Bangalore, or even if you take up Tamil Nadu, it that cultural differences, or the mindset of people or the mindset of the organization also plays a big role here to break or make something. From the audience, if you have any perspective to this, you can add it onto your comments, or you can leave a comment here. But then this is what I would say. because it's not just confined to one particular segment, but rather it goes to it comes down to different factors of where you reside and what you do, and the climatic conditions also is there sometimes. It's something similarly like your agriculture or your farming. You must have seen, not in every place everything grows. Not in every see, uh, if you take as simple as, I think many of you will be tea lovers or coffee lovers. Do you think everywhere there is, tea plants grow? Not necessarily, not to grow. So there are different factors to, this kinds of this. There are different factors I feel for this question.
What you are saying, Darshini, is every pointer that you has to look at a kind of circumstances. When we talk about your way of telling on the tea estates or coffee estates, there is certain climatic conditions that are needed for certain crop to be grown. Similarly, is the kind of environments that are to be created have to have a setting that
Mm.
brings up the kind of culture that we want to bring in. So I think that's the point that you are trying to bring in. How do managers coach AI augmented teams without micromanaging outputs? Because today we are seeing a lot of people do tend to do micromanagement. They want to see an update every 10 minutes. Every task needs to be updated in speculated time, but we are missing the larger picture of managing the outcome. So how do we look at that, Darshan?
See, micromanaging, not in many places it would work. As far as I'm concerned, if you have a system in place to handle things, or today you have apps like Notion, where if you update in one, you can have the access across the systems, even if you're working in an organization or if you're running your own business. But micromanaging may not bring that efficiency. Say, for example, instead of, yes, rightly how Prem sir was telling, today we want updates in every next 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Every now and then we need an update. But then if there is a system in place, say you create a system using AI or whatever, what in whichever kind of organization you are working, we can create a system and start bringing things into a system. Say, for example, if you have a longer goal or if you have a longer vision, many a times micromanagement will not work. Or again, you can use, if you have your ideas or your things in place, you can create a system using AI. And if you just change one particular vertical of that section, and the whole picture changes. It's like calculations. Say today you have lot of, where you can track your expenditure or your monthly income and your expenses, where you just change the date, the whole your whole Excel changes. But many a times micromanagement, I would say, see, in certain situations I can't micromanage. It's very difficult. Or when you when a manager or a employee joins the company or an organization, then if that is the case, then you need to train them, coach them from the beginning, and you cannot expect that from middle term, or after 3 4 months after that employee joins or that manager joins. Then you can't expect that micromanagement from them. Or we need to start coaching, training them from the beginning, so that it changes. But again, we have different kinds of organizations today. We have your traditional traditional setting, or you know many organizations are okay with hybrid, but there also you can't micromanage. But it's more of you can bring up a system or bring up a space where every now and then that is getting updated, but throughout the organization people have that access to check and go back and see what needs to be done. But in bigger organization which has bigger vision or a mission to achieve or a goal to achieve, initially micromanaging might be good, but then going forward it is not gonna, it might not help you.
Long answer, but yes, I think what we are talking about is talking saying that micromanagement cannot have for a longer or a bigger projects where you cannot look at every trivial point to be reviewed and discussed, right? So I think it has to be a system that is to be looked at. How should we decide one gray zone where AI tactics with empathy for end users? Because the end users are the primary guys there, right? So your take on it, Darshani.
Can you just repeat that question once again, please?
How should we decide on gray
Mm.
zone AI tactics with empathy for end users?
Okay. Mm.
These are people
Great.
who are the e-commerce guys. Maybe those guys
Okay.
are some guys on the trust that is to be lifted in terms of how. See, I'll take this point a little detailed. Now, you call up for a
Okay.
banking service, customer
Okay.
care. So how do we
Okay.
look at gray zone? It can be a bot, it can be a human, but we should talk into a
Okay.
sense of empathy for that end user, right? So he's a user for us, or we are an user for them as well. So it is mutual, right?
There was one advertisement which which came in, which I recently encountered. Not sure, some online, something like Zepto or some kind of online shopping, instant shopping website it was. I'm not sure if which one was it. A guy comes and delivers something on a doorstep, but the whole list was not delivered, which for the order which was being placed. Now here there are two things. One, the order was placed online. Two, maybe the person who was packing the order might have missed out, or the when you're placing orders online, the order might have not got placed. Maybe that is why that miscommunication or something has happened. Either that person who came and delivered that package on the doorstep might, either he or she could got have irritated, but in that particular ad, that guy went back, brought the balance remaining of the things which got missed, when it was placed on the order. Without getting irritated, that guy went back, got the balance of the things, and telling that customer, stating, now I brought all your products which you placed as an order. He went back, he took the balance of the remaining of the products which was placed, and he brought it back, delivered at the same doorstep within maybe hours, if that was the thing, because it was edited video. So sometimes, you know just delivering an apology message, or just delivering an sorry for inconvenience cost message, you can bring that human touch to that message. But again, it is, you can play with words to bring that empathy, yes, that is there. You can play with words to bring that empathy touch, but then if it's again, if it's AI, then you can play with words.
I think one pointer that I wanted to say is there was one article which I was reading. Now, if you want to
Okay.
make somebody happy, you don't need to do
Okay.
anything. And you don't know a person who comes in front of you, just smile at him. You
True.
made his day.
Agreed.
Yeah, that
Agreed.
guy smiles.
Agreed.
But after that, that guy will be thinking, why did this guy smile at me? Do I know this
True.
person? Where did I know this
True.
person? Do I know him? Why did he smile? But he will always see that there's somebody who smiled at me. That's an empathetic pointer that you can
Exactly.
complete. So that guy
Exactly.
is happy for maybe another 1 hour, saying that somebody smiled at me and said hi to me. That's I think
Yes.
more looking at a human to human loop that we are talking about in leadership. Now
True.
there was
Even
another
in a
thing that
restaurant.
there was another video which Barack Obama goes into an helicopter on his this one. He forgets to wish the guy standing near the stair. So he comes back,
Okay.
goes and
Okay.
handshakes with that guy and says hi and then gets back to the helicopter. So that guy's face literally lit up saying that the president does not need
Some
to do that, but yes, he came back and said hi. So if
true.
you look at many of the leaders, they are open with their communication. They put up a smile in on the face and they say hi to everybody. And the person who comes into office with a smile and says hi to the receptionist, hi to the people he's meeting at the lift, just a smile. There's a lot thing happening, and these people are remembered for saying hi. And there is always a good uh, image that he gets built in the organization, saying that no matter if he's a boss also he smiles, he talks, and he has an empathetic to the this one which is natural, not an AI driven kind of a stuff where we see something is coming and you get appreciated in a text, right? An automated message
True.
coming,
True.
thank you
True.
for sending it. But if a person genuinely gives those words rather than a message, it makes a lot of difference, is what I feel. Now coming to that only, how do we design a product feedback prompt that captures emotion, not just stars? Because today we are saying rate 5 star, 3 star. That's what is
Yeah.
happening today.
See, along with that, what you can add is it's not just about rating, like how you were mentioning. Yes, I still remember, especially when you go to a supermarket, they will ask after the billing session, they'll ask, can you please rate? And I would say there are simple thing as it is when the rating goes below 4. After you rate, maybe bringing up three three questions as a feedback, what can be done to improve the service or improve the customer service in that particular, it can be a supermarket or it can be a hypermarket, wherever it is. Just raising to one or three questions can help them to improve their service if it is
Hmm.
a service segment. Maybe one reason, or was it, today, see, some, as someone rightly said, that you can speak anything, you can use your words, but then people remember only one thing, is that how you made them feel.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, sometimes today, lack of manpower lot of times irritates a lot of people. When you enter a store, there's no person to attend. How much ever you go purchase whatever you like, your service was not good because there was no person to attend to you.
Hmm.
There
Yeah.
was no person to attend to. Even if you like this whole of the shopping because it was your favorite brand, or you can give it different reasons. The time that if there is that lack of man or human touch in that, you say you had a bad experience in that particular store. Just because there was no person to come and attend to you or to pick up something for you and guide you through the shopping process.
Darshni,
So,
coming to the last pointer that I have to discuss on today's session is, if the
yeah.
listeners adopt one micro habit tomorrow, which gives them the fastest lift? What is that kind of a suggestion?
Okay. One habit.
Yeah, micro habit, not a full.
Okay. Micro habit.
Yeah.
Maybe as I think that even you also mentioned it, sir, at some point of time. Just a smile, or just you know, uh, maybe as simple as telling a customer stating have a pleasant shopping experience,
Hmm.
or it can be where I'm not sure. You have this map guiding TV, the screen system in many of the malls these days. Maybe
Hmm.
we can have something like a tab or something in place where they can check the catalog before they enter the store completely.
Hmm.
Instead of searching here and there in which rack, what is there, in which side of the rack, what is there, what is the pricing, all that maybe you can bring it on a tab screen and, you know, to check what if the size is available or not. Or even an app will work before they hit the stores. If the size is not available, it can show even when it's it gonna be available. As simple as that, that can help a lot of customers or a lot of things which can save time for them, because today no one has the time. That's another different ball game altogether.
I
you
think
know
that I think what you said is come in some of the clothing stores. I think because now
yes.
without having to wear a dress, you can see how it looks on you. That's one thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
true.
The second thing is the spectacle things. I think Lenskart has a pointer where you look at the specs and you can feel with your photograph on it, and you can see whether the
True. True. Yes, it
lens
is there. Yes.
there are few things, but I think what we are looking at is an hyper automation stuff. I think where we are talking about saying that how does it look, where is that size look at, what is the shelf, what is the price tag of that, what is that material made of. I think I was looking at one dressing, this one only, that's a website, it's an online clothing store.
Okay.
That guy has
Okay.
mentioned the thickness of the cotton, the quality of cotton. Where is it brought from? Where is the this one? What is the colors that are available? What is the amount that is available? Sizes in terms of shirts that are available. Everything he is given a color. This one also to say same color or same shirt available in 5 colors, 10 pieces of this, 10 pieces of that, 4 pieces of a particular size, and there are options, and is given a neat description of this is an Italian designer cloth, this is imported from this country, and this is manufactured here, this is the guy who's manufacturing, these are the details of his website. I think that website has a lot of, I don't recall the name of that website, somebody had referred to me and I had a brief view. I think that is the detail that guy had given in that website, where
Here
you go
that
in
brings
seeing
human
each
experience.
cloth. Yeah.
Yeah. It gives a human touch experience. Yes,
Yes.
again, yeah, it does. It does. A lot of times.
Darshni, with this, we've come to the closure of the podcast for today. Any pointers that you would like to add to the audience on what is human in the loop as a leadership, which we've been talking for the last 50 minutes now? I think your take there, Darshni.
Um, Let it see when it comes to AI front, giving, having that right prompt is important. Having that kind of words or using the appropriate words to give it a prompt and get an exact response. On the other front, small habits like how both of us were mentioning about, you know, giving a handshake with a smile or greeting that person who opens the door for you. or just saying a thank you to someone who opens the door, or it can be in any situation or in any place. I think that gives more of that empathetic touch, even if that person had a bad day. So this is one thing I would not leave you with. I think it's more of it's see it's all see I always say it's let it be leader or let it be leadership. It's not about the titles, but it's about taking the control over the situation. So
I think,
that is
yeah,
the whole point of this.
very truly rightly said and truly important pointers. I think my take on the overall pointer that we were talking today is human in the loop is we will have AI. We have to adapt to AI. No second thoughts on it. But with AI, we are not going to lose anything. The streamlining of things are happening much better. But what we are trying to say is when you start looking at automation, we don't want to leave that piece of empathy as part of the whole journey, is what we're talking about. That is, we are talking about the human in the loop leadership. And is empathy at the AI edge? No, it is not. It is with the humans. And we have to look at AI as an enabler rather than taking it as a competitor where you lose jobs. It does not take off jobs, it automates most of the things and makes things easy for you. I think that's the take that I would like to add to what Darshni has told. To this, I think, Darshni, thank you for joining us today. And
Thank
I would
you.
like to conclude this session for the day. Good day.
Thank you.
Bye for now.